Hello MBN, Shannon here from I Cook You Serve. I'm joined here today with Jonathan from DoTerra Oils. So welcome, Jonathan.
Oh, thank you for the welcome, Shannon. I'm really looking forward to talking about my business. So yeah, can't wait.
So you and your wife work together. So how did you start your business?
So we started our doTERRA business a couple of years ago when my wife got invited to an essential oils intro class because Catherine was always interested in natural alternatives. So our friends invited her to that class. She went along, and at the time, it was actually this time of year when hay fever starts to set in. And she had her hay fever, so she was in the class, and the class, our friend that was running the class said, "I've noticed your eyes and your nose, you keep blowing your nose." She said, "Yeah, I've got horrific hay fever." And she said, "Right, try these essential oils, which is the natural hay fever blend."
Yes.
She tried it, loved it, and then over the next sort of 10, 15 minutes, she noticed that her symptoms just started to dissipate. So she was like, "This is so unusual, but I want to know more."
Yeah.
So it all started from going to a class.
Wow. So you, as you said there, you use the oils within your family. That must make it easier to kind of build those relationships when you're meeting these people, when you're like letting people trial the oils. Where did that come from?
So that came from, so originally Catherine started using the essential oils within our family. So we've got three beautiful, boisterous boys, and all different ages, different characters. And I started to watch from afar, because believe it or not, at the beginning, I was very much of, well, this is your thing. Using oils, so I'm okay to watch. And but what it was is we started to, the thing with doTERRA is it's actually a worldwide community. So what that means is that when we're using these oils, yes, we have our A to Z essential oil guides, our books with all the science in and all the lovely stuff, but also we have a community where we can say, my son has an ear infection and we can see pus and so forth. And lots of people will go back and say, this is what obviously the book says, but this is what we've used. And we used, I remember Matthew had swimmer's ear. He always used to get swimming.
Yeah.
And in the night, his ear would be inflamed, and you would see the pussy infection over the next day or so. And I remember Catherine going out, and so I had seen these amazing changes happen where she had used it, and I'm like, brilliant, you've got no ear infection. And I remember her going out for a girls' night out, and Matthew had one of these ear infections, and she said, "Just to let you know, the ear infection blend is by the bed." I'm like, "Oh, what do I do? What do I do?" And she said, "It's very, very simple. All you have to do is put the oils around here, around the lymph nodes, and then you do a slight massage around the ear." Anyway, I did that every 3 hours as instructed, being the good husband that I am. And then the next day, I was like, "Matthew, how's your ear?" And he'd be like, yeah, it's great." And I'm like, "Really? Can I have a look?" Yeah, within that time frame, it just went. And so that was my start of my journey, using them with the kids and then using them for me.
Oh, so obviously that worked really quickly for your son and for Catherine's hay fever. So what's the science behind that? How do they work so quickly?
So the reason that these 100% pure essential oils work so quickly and are so responsive in our body is going through a bit of the science, is that when we look at our body, is that our body is like a lipid inside. So like all the cells that we have inside our body, and so are the essential oils. So the essential oils have the ability to pass through our cells. They have the ability to use the chemical compounds that they have So what that means is that when we put an essential oil on our skin, it takes 22 seconds to absorb into our body, and then it takes 22 minutes to service every part of our body. So what that means is that they go straight to the root cause when we need it. And so that's the amazing thing about these oils. So that's why I love them, because it's immediate and it's fast.
Wow. I think that is phenomenal. Something else, so you're really passionate about the essential oils, but what I love about doTerra is the massive community. You referenced it earlier, but it's so much more than just about essential oils. It's about supporting third world countries. It's about supporting people, different workers. So tell us a bit more about that.
Yeah, so doTerra, when you look at doTerra, you will see, the first thing you'll see a bottle of essential oil. And that's basically like the marketing of doTerra. And so, but really what goes behind doTerra is even bigger. And probably I would be happy to admit that I'm guilty sometimes of not talking about it enough. They have the Healing Hands Foundation, which basically it goes back to the grower. So for example, so when we use a bottle of essential oil to support or aid our immune system or support us with every sort of things we, colds and things we come into contact with, is that bottle, when we use that to help us, that everything for that bottle goes back to the grower. So doTerra have a huge impact on, they believe, in the roots of where these oils come from, because these are the people that grow, and what they do is they boost the economy in these third world countries. So not only are they giving jobs, but they go further. They give them natural health care, they build schools, they build hospitals. So the best thing for people to do to see that is go on YouTube and type in doTerra co-impact sourcing, and they can type in doTerra co-impact sourcing frankincense, or they can type in peppermint. And frankincense for me is one of the biggest ones, because it comes from somewhere that is war-torn, which is in Somaliland.
Yes.
The tribes of Somaliland they've been spread out. They generally never talk. So doTerra was the first company, and doTerra has been running for now 11 years. And doTerra was the first company to co-impact source and bring all the tribesmen together and explain to them that, look, you have this purest frankincense, and it has so many medicinal health benefits. And what we want to do is to stop you being taken advantage of. And so what we want to do is we want to give back to you, but also make sure that you have a firm footing income. So what they did was they set a bar that they doubled and tripled in some places their yearly annual wage for what they do, so that any other company that wants that frankincense has to match what they're being paid. So they can't be undercut. And then they built them hospitals, where these places are 200 miles from other civilizations what have medical care and things. So it's hugely important what doTerra does. And that was a big thing for me in coming to doTerra.
Wow. I think that is so important to have a business with that background and with all of that support that it gives. I think you and Catherine definitely reflect that in how you run your business, because you guys are always giving. You're always handing out free samples. You're always like, oh, try this, come along to one of our classes. And I think that's just an excellent way to run a business and to have that attitude.
I think it's super important. So for us and doTerra, customer service is key. However, lots of people are not used to trying natural medicine, or well, I say natural medicine, natural alternatives for support and aid. And basically what that is I'm a big history buff. I love civilizations, and I've been following this guy on YouTube who's amazing at showing how we, whether it's the Western side of the world, have lost our heritage of natural alternatives. There's even things out in the fields that can benefit us that we just we don't use. And so when you look at that and say, look, I have a natural alternative that you might want to consider to try for your specific ailment. Here you go. And lots of people are very receptive to go, wow, that's amazing. You can try something for free, that's natural. And once they have that sort of sample and they try it, they have a profound effect and experience of, I never knew something natural could do that. Why did I not know about this?
Yeah.
And so that's why we give free samples. That's why we always say to people, look, if you want a free sample, whether it's, especially at this current situation, that you're struggling emotionally or physically or you're whatever it might be, just ask us and we will happily help. We just love to help people.
Yeah, that does come across with every time we see you out networking, and your online presence as well. You guys are always up to date, whether it is the Christmas cold or hay fever, as you mentioned at the beginning. You guys are completely on it. And I like that you live your work, but you also reflect how you help people through your work. So you run a lot of classes, whether it's an introduction class, whether it's a continued education class. You guys are constantly educating and giving back, and there is that just flurry of information, but you do it in such a way that it's not an overload. And I think with everything that's going on social media, out in the world, whether it be politics or just someone arguing down the supermarket, there's so much noise, and you guys cut through that and you just give such a clear path almost that you guys can help. So I think that's really good.
I think this business is duplicable, so anybody can do it, but at the same time it's not to be, lots of people will sit and stand behind their qualifications, their PhDs, which is amazing. Those are amazing. But at the same time, you can have all the qualifications in the world, and sometimes you give people too much.
Yes.
And it's like overwhelmed. It's like, yes, what you're saying is right, but just tone it down.
Yeah.
And it's, like you say, don't make too much noise.
Yeah, you guys really cut through that with your classes. So what classes have you got upcoming?
So we've got classes all the way through April, all the way and through May. We've actually got our classes planned throughout the year. And we've got two types of classes. First of all, we've got intro classes to essential oils. So those people that have had samples, they've had their experience, and then now they have those bubbling questions like Catherine had, and that I had, is like, wow, how did it help me with this issue? And so I want to come to a class. So it's a 30-minute class, and then there's a 15-minute question and answer time afterwards. Yeah. So that's the intro classes. And then we also have the continued education classes. This is something that is super key about doTERRA, is that how we increase our learning, our knowledge, our passion. It's those classes of, I want to know how to use essential oils and how I can use them for green cleaning and reduce a toxic load in the house. I want to use how to use essential oils for emotional health. And so those continued education classes, there are for everybody, but they really benefit those people that have their oils. And we show them how to use their oils, but how to get the most out of them. And it's just an opportunity to come together, to lift each other as well. And also, most important, is having fun with them.
Yeah. I think that's something you guys definitely always get across, that you are so passionate and you have so much fun with your oil. So I think that's brilliant. So how can people get in touch?
So people can get in touch quite a few ways. So if you're on the Northampton Business Network, you can just message me, link me in, and I'll message you. We've got our email address, which is cook.doterra@gmail.com. You've got my mobile number, which is 07799 826 497. So you can call me, you can text me. Lots of people prefer that, especially on Messenger, because It's just easy and it's quick. And then we're on LinkedIn. So on LinkedIn, we're Johnathan and Catherine Natural Wellness. So there's so many ways that you can reach out. And if you want those free samples, then you know where we are.
Just get in touch. Excellent. Well, that's us for today. So thank you for joining me, Johnathan. And I hope everyone enjoyed learning about doTerra oils and how Johnathan uses them. Thank you. Take care.